Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to 60 Days to Six Figures. My name is Jeff Bonham. I want to welcome you on behalf of everybody here at the SixFigureNewsletter.com team with this very special training that we're going to go through today. So here's what we're going to do in the next 60 minutes. You're going to discover how to build a shift-proof business with a predictable, doesn't that sound nice? A predictable $10,000 or more per month revenue stream, without cold calling, without buying leads, and without building a team, all while working less than 20 hours a week. Now, I say all that because you can scale up, you can work more, you can make more, you can do whatever you want with that. But what we are going to focus on today is the foundational system that is going to get you to this predictable and duplicatable income of at least 10 grand a month every single month without any of those extra activities and having the life balance to enjoy that money. So why are you here? Well, hopefully you're here to uncover the hidden obstacles, and by that I mean the ones that sabotage your success and that are flat out preventing you from achieving predictable, sustainable, and consistent income. That tends to be the thing that is toughest in our industry, is that roller coaster that you hear about. So who is this training for today? It's for you if you're tired of not having reliable income, and if you've been living from closing to closing, maybe even feeling like you're failing. It's for you if you spend half your day cold calling and the other half handing out business cards, marketing yourself to people you don't even know. If you are constantly spending money on new programs for lead capture, farming, and cold traffic advertising with little to no results. Or if you're just simply ready to have a system that works for you rather than you being a slave to it. Guys, if you are tired of the tail wagging the dog, do you get what I'm saying? If you want to build a real real estate business that is virtually automated, that is fun for crying out loud, that is highly profitable, it is recession proof, and it gives you the freedom and flexibility you so desperately crave, this training is going to be right up your alley. So why are you here? Well, you're here because we're going to show you the simplest and fastest way to make $10,000 per month or more, month after month, every month, how to do it in less than 20 hours a week, how to eliminate virtually all of that grind work that you're doing right now that wastes your time at the office and at home. We're going to do it exactly, we're going to show you how to do it exactly without cold calling, without SEO, internet leads, open houses, and every other kind of unpredictable or incredibly expensive traffic source. And we're going to show you the 5 very simple things that you need to have in place. And yes, they really are simple. Yes, there really are only 5. We'll also talk about the roadblocks and the challenges as to why some people, even though they know these 5 things, simply aren't doing them. And we're going to do it in a way that shows you how to have fun, right? To have the joy back in this business, not only the money, but the joy. So here's our simple commitment to you that we're going to let you in on the rarely talked about strategies that are going to give you this predictable income without the stress, without the frustration, and without the complication, right? And absolutely without constantly feeling overwhelmed. We're going to give you clarity. So just make sure to stick around until the end because I have a very special gift for you guys that you can take absolutely fast action on, quick action, put it into your business today. That'll put an extra $50,000 in your pocket this year. And I would really challenge you to say that if you do it and you do it at a high level, you can put that $50,000 in your pocket in the next 90 days, guys. I mean, it's a super exciting, again, super simple tool. We are all about simple here at Six Figure Newsletters. This does not have to be a complicated business. You do not have to bang your head against the wall all the time to find out where the next deal is coming from. It can be a blast. So does this sound like you? Are you somebody that is constantly frustrated because you simply can't figure out how to put all the pieces together? Are you sick and tired of feeling like you have to work more hours just to justify to your loved ones that you really are trying? You know, you're trying hard and desperately to become successful in real estate. Are you spending 90% of your time trying to figure out what to do, but you never seem to get any traction? Do you spend way too much time on leads that never convert? The tire kickers, the dreamers, the moochers? The Donald Ducks, the Daffy Ducks, right, at AOL.com that are taking your time and hitting your inbox all the time. Do you watch other agents around you? This gets me, right? Do you watch other agents around you that are closing deal after deal, yet they still have plenty of time to enjoy their success? Do you see that? Or maybe the opposite. Do you see people that are doing plenty of deals, but they've got no time to enjoy their money, or they're going through marital problems, or they don't see their kids, and you're wondering and thinking, well, is that what success looks like in this business? Then I don't want that. And you almost set yourself up to believe that you don't want to be successful. It's just a bad definition of success, guys. That's it, right? We're going to talk about that today. And maybe you're one of the people that have spent more money on the next great idea than you care to tell anyone. Right? Are you the guy at the conference that's buying every tool, trick, strategy, website, whatever else it is, hoping to get the silver bullet, and it just really hasn't given you the ROI that you really desired or that they told you you'd get? See, every strategy you try, it's going to cost you more and more. But often the reality is it's not going to give you consistent results. And the kicker about our industry is that it feels as if absolutely no one out there will give you the full, clear picture of what it is you need to do every day when you wake up. What is it I'm really supposed to do? What do I do from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 1 to 3? What do I do today to succeed, right? See, there is so much noise in our industry, so much beating us down from all these different angles, from advertisers, from the news magazines, from our broker, from our board of realtors, from the guy who sits at the desk next to us, right? That you simply don't know what or who to listen to. And you want to make at least this $10,000 to $15,000 a month so you can be stable, so you can live this fuller, more abundant life, so you can get off of not only the financial roller coaster you're on, but maybe more importantly, this emotional roller coaster of all the up and down, and you want to get off that, and you know deep down in your heart, in your core, you can do this business if you only have the right guidance and the right tools. Is your real estate business giving you everything you never wanted? So again, why are you here? Well, here's a simple truth, and I want to get real clear on this. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this, and you may be wondering, why am I spending all this energy on this information, Jeff? Just get down to the brass tacks. I'll tell you why, because here is a simple truth. That without a very clear vision of what you want, you will never achieve the results you desire. That may sound harsh, but it is true. And if you do not have a very clear vision of what you want your life to look like, what you want your income to look like, what you want your business to look like, what you want your relationships to look like, if you do not have a very clear vision of that, you're never going to achieve the results you desire. And furthermore, if you do not have an emotional attachment to the desired outcome, you're not going to achieve the results either. If you cannot sink your teeth into it, if you cannot sit right now and close your eyes and literally transport yourself to the future vision that you have created in your mind, the one that maybe got you into this business, the one that made you leave a different career and transition into real estate and put your hopes and dreams into, if you cannot close your eyes and absolutely 100% taste, smell, feel, hear everything around that vision, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve the results you desire. So we've got to spend time and energy on mindset. And the reason being is, again, a simple system will not be executed if you don't know why you're executing. If you do not have an attachment to the results from that simple system, you will do it for a few months or 6 months or 9 months or maybe even a year or two, and you will stop following through because you will get complacent, or you'll get frustrated, or you'll have a bad week and you won't put things in your calendar, and next thing you know, you're 2 weeks behind, 4 weeks behind, 8 weeks behind on what should be a very incredibly simple system that will guarantee you 6 figures every year. But you guys have to have an emotional attachment to the outcome. And it has to be a clear, very clear vision. So let me ask you right now, what one thing has to happen? What one thing has to happen in your business? What one thing has to happen in your life? Henry Ford says it so beautifully, and he says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So, what is your mind telling you? Again, a lot of this business is about mindset. A lot of this business is about waking up even when you get punched in the gut because a closing falls through, financing falls through, bad inspections, your cousin buys from somebody they go to church with, your best friend bought in an open house, right? When those things happen, you've got to have a very strong mindset and, again, know exactly why you're doing this, or this perspective can shift and you're going to start to doubt yourself, or you're going to start to think that maybe this business is not for you and you're not cut out for it. And I'm going to tell you, if you start to think that way, you're right. You're not cut out for it. But if you think you can, and if you believe in yourself and you hold on to this vision and you commit to running a super simple system like we're going to talk about here today, you can achieve success. I have helped people of every personality type on the face of the earth succeed in this business. But the ones that have, it's again because they've got the right ideas. They think right. So once you have the vision of your business and what you want to know, where do you want to go, the simple reality of business is that numbers are the language of the business. So we've got to think about this from a business planning perspective, right? What numbers, as you start to plan out your business so we can know what success looks like, first of all, you kind of need to think about that life vision, and you need to set a price tag to it, whether you like it or not. I mean, if you want to take 3 months off a year, that costs money, right? If you want to have a certain car or a certain house or a certain amount of savings in the bank, or you want to fund your kids' college education fund, right? If you've got any of these things, or retirements maybe sneaking up on you, if you've got any of these big goals, then you've got to know how to get there, right? How you've got to make the surplus of money to not only pay the bills, but to also then scale up and get those things to happen, coming in fruition that you've really wanted. So we have to ultimately talk about numbers. We have to ultimately talk about money. I do not believe that money is the driver and definition of success, but the reality is this is our scorecard. In business, this is how we know, are we on track or are we not on track? And real estate has a very specific language to it with very specific numbers. So what are those things that you need to hit? Well, things that you need to start thinking about is, how many leads do you need in order to set a certain number of appointments, in order to then take and sign a certain number of listing agreements, and then to get those sold. Same thing on the buyer side. How many leads do you need to then get an appointment set with a prospective buyer, in order to then get a buyer's agency agreement written, in order to then get them to write offers and get it to closing? And then back that into the gross commission income, how much money you're going to spend in order to make all of this happen in your budget, to then yield your ultimate net income that's going to fund this amazing life mission that you've laid out before yourself, right? Again, the one that you can taste and smell and hear, right? So these are your numbers. Now, you don't have to be somebody that's incredibly detailed about tracking all of this all of the time. Now, the better you do, I think the better your results will be. I think the more clarity you'll have and the more in control you'll be of your business. But ultimately, if you have the awareness, that's where it starts. So if you don't have the skill set today, that's okay. That's okay, guys. But start having an awareness, because this is a business. You own a business. You are not just somebody that's given themselves a job, okay? A lot of people treat it like that. They leave their career, they come into real estate, and they think they've got a sales job. Really what they are, is you're self-employed. And all self-employed means is you employed yourself to do a job, right? You gave yourself a job in which there's no paycheck, right? You've got to go out, wake up every day to make that commission. What we really have the opportunity to do, however, is to change this from a self-employed position into a business, into an enterprise, something that can run on and on without our personality having to be involved every single day, all the time. Now, you may have no desire to do that, but again, if you want to go that direction to where you can ultimately step out of your business and it run without you, you're definitely going to need to know these things, because they are the pieces of accountability that will hold your future team responsible for hitting their metrics, okay? But just having an awareness and knowing this language, because we'll talk about that through our coaching programs to make sure that we're helping you get exactly where it is you want to go. So what numbers then do you need to hit your income goal, right? So think about that. If you want to make $100,000 a year, how many closings is that in your marketplace? If your average commission is $10,000, right, then you need 10 closings. What percentage of your business is listing-based versus buyer-based? Well, if it's 50-50, then you need 5 listings to close and 5 buyers to close. Right? Looking back at this, you need 5 listings sold and you need 5 buyers closed. How many listings do you have to take? Depends on the market, right? Some markets are super crazy hot. You take a listing, it sells. The market may shift. You may have to carry twice the number of listings because half of them may expire. I've been there. I've been in those markets, right? And how many appointments do you have to set? Now, the cool thing about the system, again, that we're really talking about today, these are going to be more like come list me leads. They're going to say, hey, come over, list my house. Or, hey, I'm ready to buy a house. When can we go look? That's the lifestyle business that we are teaching you today. Okay? But you do need to start thinking about what numbers you need to hit your income goal. All right? So how will you make this happen? How are you going to approach making this a reality? You kind of need to look at how you make decisions in your life. So the question is, do you play the short game? Meaning, do you play it based on today's immediate needs? Or do you play the long game focused on a life vision? Now, sometimes, obviously, there's a dance back and forth. What I want you to start doing is spending a lot of your energy, though, on developing the long game vision and the strategies, but then also having the skill set to turn the volume up and down if you need to on any given day, right? If the market slows down and you need to get some more closings or some more listings, I want you to have the skill set to be able to get those in a hurry so that you're not on that roller coaster again. But at the same time, we are building a foundational system here that's going to give you that predictable income long term. And if you do that, that's when you wake up 20, 25, 30 years in the business, if you have that much time in you, and you'll say, this has been a fun ride. I'm so glad I got into real estate. The short game is chasing the now business, and the long game is building a real business. So chasing now business is really doing anything to put yourself in front of opportunities way immediately. Think of the low-hanging fruit. Think of calling for sale by owners, calling expireds, doing circled calls, right? Things like that. And also maybe doing some open houses or door knocking, chasing immediate business, people that want to list right now that you don't necessarily know. The long game is building a real business, and building a real business is going to be based on a structure. It's going to be based on systems. It's going to have a strong foundation that creates a marketing machine that allows leads to be inbound to you so that it's not as reliant as you waking up today and making that, set of 100 cold calls. Okay? So what we want to start looking at is your database, because what creates this long-term, real-life, sustainable, predictable, joyous business is a database. So how many people do you need in your database? That's the $60,000 pyramid question. How many people do you need in your database to create a predictable, sustainable, and highly profitable business? By the way, profit I love. I'm going to sidebar here real quick. I coached an agent back in 2003. Boy, that's aging me. But I coached an agent back in 2003 who was doing pretty well. She brought in over $500,000 a year in gross commission income. A lot of people would be pretty happy with that. But she was doing it in a way that was so marketing heavy and not holding her dollars accountable, not holding her team accountable. When we really sat down and broke down her net income was only $67,000 a year from $500,000 in revenue. Horrible. Brutal. She should have at least been making, about 40%, so about $200,000 a year, at least. Right? So we don't want to just chase numbers for numbers' sake. Again, one thing you'll learn about Matt and I as co-founders of sixfigurenewsletters.com is that we want to create a lifestyle business where it's full of cash, where it's full of revenue, where it's full of net profit, so that every transaction you do has more of an impact on your lifestyle. Okay? So we want to do that. So then you got to figure out what's your gap and how soon you will fill it and how you will fill the gap. Then how are you going to market to the people? Do you know? How are you going to market to them? And are you going to do it every time, part of the time, inconsistently? Here's the thing. Consistency and frequency will win every single time. That's why this has to be a system. That's why this cannot be based strictly on your personality and what you do when you wake up at 9 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, you probably don't wake up at 9. But when you punch in, right? When you're saying, I'm getting started for the day. Consistency and frequency will win every time. The challenge is that human behavior is not very consistent and frequent to begin with. Some people, sure, super disciplined, but that's the exception to the rule. And that's where I talked about earlier that if we aren't careful, next thing you know, you're 1 week behind on doing an activity, then 3 weeks, and then you're a month behind, and next thing you know, you just kind of throw your hands up and you're like, it's not working. Well, it's not working because you're not working it. So we want to set up, again, something that takes a lot of your human interaction, I guess, and responsibility out of the equation. There will be some, sure, to maximize results. This is still a relationship-based business, but we want to set a lot of the foundational structure on autopilot for you guys. So how will you market? See, there are oftentimes these things you'll hear out there, and I want you to understand that the problem isn't the markets. Some markets are super hot, like I said, listing, sell, multiple offers in a matter of minutes or hours. And people can blame that. The market's too hot, I can't get a listing, or there's no inventory for my buyers, right? Or the other situation that we went through back in 2007, 8, 9, 10 of all the short sales, nothing selling, everybody's upside down, foreclosures. I don't work with the banks, I need bank listings, everything's a bank listing, I can't get them. The problem isn't the market. The problem is faulty methods. The problem is broken systems and using the wrong formula. Okay? If you have the right methods, the right systems, and the right formula, it doesn't matter what the market is. I've been in this business a long time, right? 20-something years, since 1996. So it's all about having the right methods, systems, and formula. It doesn't matter what the market is. Are you going to have to shift, bob, weave? Sure, absolutely. But when you've got the right foundation, it allows you to do so in a way that keeps you profitable, keeps you floating, and keeps you going in the right direction. So how are you going to market? You've got to pick the right system, and then you've got to stick with it. You've got to stick with the right system. Not some new magic bullet that's going to stop working as soon as 50 other agents in your area buy the same system. Right? If everybody goes out and buys the same system and they're doing the same tactics, it's going to get it's just not as effective, right? It's not some trend like smart farming or all these algorithms or Facebook lead capture or buying zip codes or high-ticket websites. It's not about that because, again, you're not in control of that, right? You're not in control of the algorithm. You're not in control of the pricing that some of these websites are charging. You're not in control of the algorithms and the pricing and the things that these guys are going to throw your way. And if you build a business dependent on that, then they've got you, right? And this is not another pricey program that you'll spend 6 months to a year trying to figure out how to even implement it, let alone see results. I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself. We're going to show you how to do it yourself. And if you want, do it yourself, great. If you see the opportunity or an easier path that makes sense for you to have us do it for you to outsource it to us, we'd love to be that person for you. But I want to show you that you can do this on your own. I think it makes sense to use us just from a time perspective. But I want you to be empowered, okay? This is not another expert out there in the market telling you to cold call until your fingers bleed just to grind out one more unhappy seller with an expired listing who thinks all realtors suck, right? When I first started my business, I built it on cold calling. When I relaunched after moving into a different market, I did it on cold calling. And I got to be honest with you guys, it's one of those skills that we talked about earlier that allows you to turn your volume up or down when you need to. But I know very few people, less than 1%, that really enjoy that part of the business. I mean, they're hunters, man. They like to hunt, right? They go for the kill. And they love it. But most people that I know that got in this business, they got in this business because they want to serve others, right? Because they love the freedom, they love the flexibility, and they love helping people. Those same people usually do not love getting yelled at, right? So we're not going to tell you to do all that. This is, again, very simple, and we're going to show you the system. And once you implement the system, you're going to be able to grow your business with very clear strategies that get results, guaranteed. I can show you exactly how to generate at least 10 grand a month, every month, predictable for life. You will gain the financial freedom and the time to enjoy it. The reason that you got in this business for in the first place, most of you left a job because you wanted more freedom and flexibility and more opportunity to build wealth. The challenge is too many people take advantage of the freedom and the flexibility before they ever learn how to generate the wealth because nobody's showing them. We want to show you, okay? You can go on vacation, believe it or not, and enjoy your time rather than worrying about your business falling apart or where your next deal is coming from. Wouldn't that be nice? You will be able to build a real business, one that is automated, one that is scalable, one that is simple and takes care of you and your family for years to come. It can be mastered by learning 5 very simple principles, and these secrets are really just built around a shift-proof strategy that I don't know why, but no one talks about anymore, that will guarantee you this income we've talked about without the stress, without the overwhelm, without being burnt out. And here's the secret. None of them are secret. None of them. You may even be utilizing one or most of these, but they may not be stacked the right way, right? You may not be using them consistently or frequently enough. And you will continue resenting this industry if you aren't careful that should be setting you free, okay? So how do I know? Well, who am I? I don't think we've really gone into that. I've been in the real estate business since 1996. I had the ability to run the number 152 team in all of North America by Wall Street Journal, ranked by Wall Street Journal out of approximately 1.5 million realtors nationwide at the time. I've owned multiple real estate franchises with over 650 agents that were closing in excess of $1 billion a year in annual volume. I've been the best-selling author with Brian Tracy on an awesome, fun book called The Secret to Winning Big in Business and in Life. And I've completed over 4,000 one-on-one coaching calls and trained over 10,000 agents at live seminars. Now, I'm not saying that because I think you should know who I am in the sense of, puffing up my chest. I'm saying it simply because that adds a little perspective to where this training's coming from today and why I'm so passionate about it. I've personally recruited over 1,500 agents into my brokerages over the years, and I've trained, like I said, over these 10,000 and then these 4,000 coaching calls to agents from all kinds of companies all over the country. And when I talk to them, what is amazing to me is less than 1% of them are using this system. And less than 1% of them are using it well and having that freedom and flexibility. And it's a fast way that we can change your dynamics. So the great news is here, we've done all these wrong things for you over the year. Most agents, they chase the wrong markets. They chase expensive internet leads. That's the thing. Everybody's trying to chase these internet leads that convert less than 1% of the time, but yet who expect you to be on demand. Who wants that? I don't want to have to call a lead within 5 minutes of it hitting my text message at 10:30 at night. I don't want to do that for the chance to convert that 1%. Maybe you do. This training is not for you. Right? But I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurry up and wait at open houses all afternoon. I don't want to do it. I don't want to door knock and walk around beating on neighbors' doors, I don't want to do it. I don't want to call FSBOs expireds. I don't want to do circle calls around just lists and just sold lists. I can if I need to turn the volume up and down, but I don't want to do it. And I certainly do not want to be giving Zillow all my money to buy zip codes or house value leads from these different companies that are out there promising you the next magic bullet. Let me ask you, why do you think these systems fail? Why do you think they fail? They fail because it either takes tons of money or tons of time or even both to generate enough leads to make the kind of money you want to make. You're building your business, in essence, on rented land. This is where I talked about earlier, is that you're not in control of that algorithm. You're not in control of that platform. You're not in control of the other company, the third party's pricing structure. Right? There is an absolute huge failure rate. Most people convert fewer than 1% of internet leads, fewer than 1% of cold calls, fewer than 1% of direct mail, and fewer than 2% of door knocking. I mean, my gosh. Why put yourself through that? Plus, the simple matter is it takes too much time every week to make a large income doing these activities, or you're on demand because there's no validity there in the marketplace with those people, right? You're converting cold people to try and convince them to use you. The reason this system works is because it's one that you're gonna stick with it for the long haul, as long as you have the right vision and the commitment, and you have a clear vision on what you want. You'll stick with this, okay? It's absolutely fun. It's a fun way to do this business. It's the most profitable business. It's the most predictable business to run. It's an easy way to set yourself apart from Tom, Dick, and Harry real estate agents that are fighting over that cold lead who doesn't even like you or let alone trust you. You're definitely not going to spend a fortune for the leads. And you're going to build clients for life, even through difficult transactions. So our number one objective as to how we're going to set the framework for this system is we have got to forge trusted relationships with people before you ever even sit down at their kitchen table. Your business will grow exponentially without your workload becoming more unbearable. Okay? Look at that again. Your business is going to grow exponentially without your workload itself becoming more unbearable. The ROI on time and money is insane. Okay? So what you've got to do, it's really simple. Here's the 5 steps. We start out by understanding that we want to leverage everything we can. So step 1 is putting your ATM in place. Step 2, nurture it with proven call system and scripts. Step 3, service it with world-class referral generating listing and transaction processes. Step 4, automate your relationship follow-up. And step 5, scale it by getting existing clients to 10 times your business fast again and again and again. So how does it work? Well, first off, you've got to have your ATM in place full of the right clients, passionate clients, motivated clients, people that really do want to buy and sell their home, people that value your expertise. They feel like they already know you. They trust you to protect their best interests. They're already giant advocates for you, and they're willing to work around your schedule. I mean, that's the dream, right? To have them call you up and you say, you know what, I can't meet you tomorrow night. My daughter's got a basketball game. And to have that conversation end to where everybody's super cool with it and they say, great, when does work for you? That's the kind of business we're helping you guys build. Okay? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because we want to have people that value expertise, feel like they already know you, trust you, and are advocates of you. And the way they do that is you've got to forge, as we talked about here a second ago, this trusted relationship before you ever sit down at their kitchen table. How do you do that? You do that through brand. So let's take the brand awareness challenge here real quick. All right? Grab a piece of paper, put it in this quadrant just like this. Break it up into 4 squares. And in the top left, what I want you to do real quick, I want you to write down what you believe are the top two sodas, cola, however you call it in your region, sodas in the United States. What are the top 2 soda products? Okay? Okay. Now I want you to go next. I want you to take a different quadrant and I want you to write down what you think are the top 2 American-made car companies. Write it down real quick. Top 2 American car companies. Okay. Now, in the next quadrant, I want you to write the top 2 fast food franchises. What do you think are the top fast food franchises? And then in this last quadrant, what are the top 2 gelatin desserts? The top 2 gelatin dessert companies that make gelatin desserts. What are the top ones? Okay, you done? So let's look at this. Top 2 almost always are some mix of Coca-Cola or Pepsi. And then maybe they get followed by, maybe some people say Sprite or Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew. But the majority of people say Coca-Cola or Pepsi in number 1 or number 2. Okay? Cars, Ford and Chevy. Ford and Chevy almost always are the top 2. Sometimes we'll hear people say GMC, Dodge, Cadillac, right? Fast foods, McDonald's, Burger King. Almost always number 1 and number 2. Some order thereof. And then maybe people throw out Taco Bell, Subway, KFC, Wendy's. Okay? But number 1 and number 2 have a strong brand awareness, right? The majority of people will usually say one of those 2 is number 1 or number 2 because they own the brand. But here, let me ask you this. As we talked about the top gelatin desserts, what did you come up with? Jell-O, right? Jell-O is not the dessert. Jell-O is a brand, but it's the only one that people can think of most of the time. Every now and then I'll hear, what is it, like Royal? I think somebody said one time, Royal gelatin. But Jell-O is it. Jell-O dominates it. There are tons of people that actually make these gelatin products. If you go to the store and you can see them lined up there. But Jell-O dominates brand. So when you think about brand and what you're trying to do, I want you to become Jell-O. I want you to become Jello with your database. I want you to be so amazing at branding this that you are the only real estate agent in the mind space of your database. When they hear real estate, when they hear buying, when they hear selling, they think of you and you alone. And so much so that if they hear anybody talking about real estate, they make sure to mention your name. That is an advocate. That is when you know you own the mind share of your database. That is when you have completely transcended, the idea of this job as a real estate agent, and you are now a trusted advisor in their world, and they would not consider ever doing anything without you. And that's when you get freedom. That's when you get flexibility. That's when you get referral. And that's when your hours go way down and your ROI goes way up. See, the problem is there's noise. There's a lot of noise in our industry and a lot of ways to do things, and there's a lot of ways that you can do it, and so you're watering down maybe what it is you're doing, and you're not really capturing that mind share, because there are literally at least 17 major lead sources in real estate for you to try, and hundreds of people are trying to sell you the next magic bullet, but the truth is you can't go into them all. You get watered down with the shotgun approach. You become a jack of all trades and a master of none, as they say. And next thing you know, you run out of time or you run out of money and you decide it's time you better just go get a real job, right? So how much time do you spend a week working cold leads, working people you don't even know that don't even know who you are? Wouldn't you rather be spending that time talking to people who have already decided 100% to use you before they even meet you? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but a lot of people are doing the first one. This is a simple system. It's time tested. It's going to get you at least a 10% conversion, not 1%. And it's going to allow you to work only 10 to 15 hours a week doing the follow-up. It's simple follow-up. It's service systems that deliver results and massive amounts of referrals year after year. And it puts your relationship marketing on autopilot. And these are systems that my wife and I, we use to make in excess of $100,000 every single year, working less than 10 hours a week. To be honest with you, I bet we work 5, maybe 6 hours a week on the business, right? And then what happens is it gets to a point where it doesn't feel like business because you're in essence hanging out with your database, right? And these people are doing deal after deal with you, and you decide how big do you want your business to grow. You want it bigger? Great. Add to your database. Feed your database, nurture the relationship. And at the time when I first wrote this class, the average commission in our market was $4,000 a deal. So 25 deals a year we could count on January 1 waking up. We usually did around 40 to 50. But this is the reality of it. And we did it working maybe 10 hours a week. So there's one simple goal. And the simple goal ultimately to get this kind of lifestyle business set up is that you need to capture the mind share of your existing database. And you need to teach them how to go to work for you. They'll prospect for you. They'll create incoming calls full of hot leads. They'll farm their own neighborhood for you, right? They'll go online too looking for houses still. They'll go look at Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever, but they're going to call you directly. Instead of allowing that, those agents to fight over their lead, they'll send you a text with a picture of the Zillow listing, right? Say, hey, I found this. Can we go look at it? They'll be walking their neighborhood and they'll see somebody putting a for sale by owner sign out front and they'll say, man, you really need to talk to my agent, right? He's amazing. Here's his card. I'm going to call him right now. Let's get him on the phone, right? They'll prospect for you. And while they do all of this, this allows you to predict your revenue no matter what the market is doing. I've been in this since 1996. I've been in hot markets. I was in South Beach in the early 2000s, right? Everything was selling pre-construction. I went through short sale and foreclosure market, right? We're back in a pretty hot market right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. It'll allow you to predict your revenue no matter what the market is doing. Are you going to have some peaks here and there and some valleys? Yes, but you're still going to have this amazing consistent income, and you're going to get off that roller coaster. The right lead system is critical because leads, a lot of people talk about, I need more leads. No, you don't. Leads are the easy part. Virtually none of my students and none of our clients that are using sixfigurenewsletters.com have ever really had a problem getting leads. What they've had a problem with is generating recurring and predictable income. That's what they have a hard time with. There are tons of people more than willing to fill out some internet lead form, right? To ask for a free report that are just going to be tire kickers, moochers. They're going to kill your time in open houses because it's a day on Sunday and they don't have anything to do. Or there's going to be new expireds or FSBO listings you can call no matter what the market is. There's going to be tons of these things. So leads in and of themselves are the easy part. If your system's bad, however, more leads, all they're going to do, you say, I need more leads are just going to make your life worse. Because then what happens is you spend more time chasing them, right? You spend more time working them for that low conversion rate. But if your system works, high quality leads that come in will give you wealth. Okay? Without our rarely shared strategies, you will be missing out. You will be missing out on the lifetime value of each client. See, here's the stat. I did not make this up. This is from the National Association. When polled, when people that have sold or bought a home, when polled, hey, would you use your agent again that helped you buy or sell this house? 87% say yes, absolutely I would. But you know what? On the backside, what the actual stat is, only 12% do. Only 12% actually get that repeat business. Why? Because we don't run the right systems, plain and simple. They may go 5 to 7 years before they do their next transaction. They don't even know if you're still in business. I want to give you 10%. The 10% rule. I want 10% conversion rate or more. That's what we shoot for. Not 1%, 10. Okay? And it's all about repeat and referral. I want you to show me any successful business. I don't care what it is, and I'll show you one dependent on repeat and referral business. I mean, look at Fridays. People may say Fridays is not dependent on repeat and referrals. It's a restaurant. Home Depot's not, reliant on repeat and referrals. Absolutely, they both are. If you walk into a Fridays on a Friday night, everybody's sitting in that restaurant. It is not everybody's first time being there, and it is not the last time they're going to be there. Right? They come back. They rely on repeat and referrals. I want you guys to, again, leverage everything you can. Here's the reality check. You need to know how to create an abundance of high-quality leads. Again, high-quality leads in 10 to 15 hours a week. And then you need to be able to scale it so you can hit your financial goal without sacrificing time away from the people you love. Your business, if you aren't careful, is going to steal the best hours of your day and of your life while your family gets your worst. I was a victim of this for a while. I would come home exhausted, or I'd come home frustrated about a deal falling apart or some jerk that hung up on me. And I took it out on the people closest to me. You should be spending more of your day working on growing your business instead of slaving away in it. You cannot increase quality of life by working more hours. I dare you. Actually, I don't, because I don't want any of you to take the dare. You can't do it. The way you're going to do it is by nurturing your existing SOI, your existing sphere of influence, and then growing it exponentially. Those are both processes that should be as automated as possible. And if you can automate it, you can scale it, meaning you can grow it up bigger, bigger, and bigger without having to give up more and more of your own personal time. So here's how you're going to execute it and get a 15-to-1 ROI. Number one. The first thing you need to do is you need to send a print newsletter every month to your top 250 at least. Okay, I say top 250 at least. If we get the 10% conversion rate, that's 25 deals a year, right there. But you need to do this system, okay? So you need to do it. Now you can write it. What we produce is we produce a 4-page, full-color, customizable newsletter. Drop it in the mail, right? Boom, 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 10 minutes, you've got it customized, and then it's out the door. Okay, so, but you need to get the hard copy to your top 250. These are past clients. These are people you personally know. These are people that know you, trust you, like you. Okay, if you don't have 250, then we got to fill the gap. All right, if you've got 150, okay, you say my gap is 100. How am I going to fill that gap, and what activities am I going to do to get to 250? Right, and by when? Set yourself a deadline. I want to fill that gap in 4 months. Okay, great. Right? Then you can work backwards and say if I've got 4 months to add 100 people, I need to add 25 people a month, which is basically one person a day. That's why we need to know our numbers, all right, when we talked about earlier. See how this is kind of dovetailing together? So Anyway, your top 250, if you run a database of 250 or more and you run the system with it, you will, I guarantee you, make six figures every year, year in, year out. So step one, print newsletter top 250. Step two newsletters that are e-newsletter based every single month to every email address you have. So the top 250, without a doubt. But this is a system you can use to nurture everything else. If you work open houses and you collect emails, put them on this program, okay? That basically means, 26 times a year, or 24 times rather, 24 times a year, they're going to get something of you branded by you. It's going to have some personal information, help them bond with you. It's going to have some real estate specific information. It's going to have just some other things going on there to connect with them and stay in front of them. This is what you can send to Donald Duck at AOL, right? Any email address you have that you put them on this campaign, okay, to start building that brand awareness, the validity, and the trust. The next thing is we want engagement. We want a reason for them to pick up the phone just because, and even not real estate related. We want to have relationship with them. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create engagement with a trivia contest every single month with prizes. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. If you Google it, you can find all kinds of little things like this. Again, we do these for you, but you have a quiz question, right? So there's the quiz question. They can email it in, which is what most of our people do, or they can call you, whatever it is, and then you draw a winner. And then when you draw a winner, it's fun because then you shoot a little video of it and you say, hey, Bob Jones, you're our winner of the month on this quiz question. Thank you so much for playing. Look in your email for, the link to get your $25 Amazon gift card, right? Or you may do coffee cards or movie tickets, whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter. The point is, give them a reason just to reach out to you and then call back and respond personally to everybody that answered your quiz question. Relationship, engagement, okay? Fourth, I want you to promote a downloadable monthly free call to action report to your sphere of influence. Because again, we don't lose that top 250 ever. They get all this stuff, right? Because that's how we become jello with our sphere of influence. But we also will just use this for all of our social media followers. You may have 3,000 quote unquote friends on Facebook. You're going to want to put this online to where they can request a copy of it. Every month we personally write it. Again, if you aren't using our services, you can find content, right? You can find content. You can go to realtor.org or you can go to all these different places and just grab some articles about home improvement or state of the market or whatever it might be. So again, you can do all these things I've said, right? Up to this point, you can do all of this. The next step is to really take it deep and to maximize that ROI and to get from maybe a 10% conversion to a 15 or a 20% conversion. I've got some former coaching clients of mine that did 80 deals a year off a database of less than 400. I mean, that's phenomenal, right? But one thing he did is he executed the system and he made sure to touch them with a quarterly call plan. He did not miss the quarterly call plan to his top tier. His top 250, actually for him, is top 400, right? So set them up on a quarterly call plan. Now, this is where a lot of people kind of screw up. This is something you're going to have to figure out in your CRM. We can give you obviously ideas and tips. But for example, let's say you've got 240 in your sphere of influence and we want to call them once a quarter. Well, a quarter is 3 months. So if we take 240 people in your sphere, divide that by 3 months, that means we need to call 80 people per month. If we then want to do that every week, we're making some calls. We take 80 people divided by 4 weeks in that month. That means we need to call 20 people per week. And if we make our calls Monday through Friday, we take 20 people divided by those 5 days. That means we only need to call 4 people a day. Can you call 4 people a day to do 25 deals a year? Could you call 8 people a day to do 50 deals a year? I mean, you can see how this does not ever... It's not going to break your return on your time. It's not going to, load your workload to something crazy. I mean, 4 freaking phone calls a day to do 25 deals. In most markets now, the average commission's around 10 grand. That's 250 grand a year for calling 4 people. This is simple. It is not rocket science, but it takes consistency and frequency. Everything I mentioned so far, and that's where most people drop the ball. The next thing, if you want to have fun with them and just give a great thing, is I love to have this done, and that's host an annual client appreciation event, but make it charitable, make it around some charity, right? There's something you're passionate about, I'm sure, that if you had more time, you'd probably help out with, but maybe you don't feel like you have the time. Well, host an annual charitable client appreciation event, okay? Get this going and do it for free. Actually, all of this I want you to do for free because you're going to get your ancillary vendors to pay for every single bit of it. None of this is going to cost you a dime if you do it right. You are going to get marketing money from your ancillary vendors to pay for your newsletters, pay for your parties, pay for these different events that you might put on, pay for your quizzes, right? You are going to crush it with your vendors. And they're going to, because you're going to find great people that think like you. You're going to find people that will take your referrals you send to them and love them and care for them and nurture them the way you expect them to be treated, right? Because they do reflect upon you. If you send somebody a home inspector, that home inspector reflects upon you to your client. You know that, right? So you surround yourself with an amazing team, and as you build this, your vendors will gladly pay for it. Guys, we'll teach you how to do this. We'll teach you the systems in our inner circle. So people that are clients of ours, just so you know, we do 2 coaching calls every single month. All right? So we talk about this. We teach you how to do all of this stuff. But you can go do it on your own. That's the beauty. That's what I want you to understand here. All of these things, you can come up with content and put together a newsletter and mail it out every month. You can do it. You can send 2 e-newsletters every single month. You can create quizzes on your own. You can promote these free call to action reports. You can put people on a quarterly call report. You can host an annual appreciation event. If you want to build this system, you can build it. Now, the challenge, again, we talked about earlier is consistency and frequency, and the reality is most, unfortunately, human behavior is we get behind, we get stuck in creativity, we outsmart ourselves, we get a week behind, a month behind, 3 months behind, and then we throw the system away because it didn't work. No, you didn't work the system. That's why some people think it's the right idea to hire us. So if you want to hire us, awesome. We're super cheap, right? And we'll help you get there. But you can do this on your own, guys. So here's the thing, if you execute this, you will get a 15-to-1 return on your investment or more. And it's something that you can count on this minimum $100,000 per year. You can make $400,000 or $500,000 a year, right? But if you want to go bigger, go bigger. All you got to do is increase the size of your database. Take it from 250 to 500. Take it from 500 to 1,000. One of my former coaching clients, we used the system to a database of 1,300. She could count on 140 deals a year. She could count on it so well, and the system ran so well that she had an assistant and a buyer's agent. She went to Europe for 3 months. And her team actually did the same number of deals. I want to say more, but maybe not by much. But they did this. Her business didn't slow down, and she wasn't even there, right? Because she'd become jello with her database, right? She owned her database. It really is this simple, but it's not easy. And I think I've shared with you why. Again, the reason why is because you get in your own way. You outsmart yourself. You get bogged down in productivity or in servicing a customer, right? You get them under contract, and it's inspections, title, right? Running around, dealing with appraisal issues, going to closings, doing the paperwork, uploading them to compliance department, all these different things. And the most important thing, for some reason, gets put on the back burner, and that is running your lead generation system, and that's what creates the financial roller coaster. See, what happens is anytime, like it says here, I love that dog, that you try to do something important, hey, I got to do this, squirrel. Something pulls you off task. And sometimes your system is running great, but you go to some stupid conference or you're watching something and you think you need a different bullet, even though your current bullet works pretty well. And you drop it. Don't do that with this. This is the number one thing you need to do to build a real business. You need to have an amazing database that when they think of real estate, they think of you. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be frequent. It's the most profitable. It's the most fun. It's the easiest to run and organize and manage your life around. So don't ever drop this system. Just do it, guys. I mean, would you go to Amazon and go buy a book on how to fly jets, read that book, and then just throw your family in the back of the plane? Take off and think you're actually going to survive to your destination? You may know where you want to go, and that's the vision part, but you're missing some of the tactics. So what I'm asking you is, why are you doing that with your business? Why are you trying to read all these different little articles? Why are you trying to do all this stuff by yourself and piecemeal together some type of flight plan that's going to take you where you want to go when there are people that have lived before you that are happy to show you the way to get there? Matt and I love this stuff, man. We love pouring back into people. We love hearing your success stories. See, smart people learn from their own mistakes, but wise people learn from ours. You don't need to make the same mistakes we've made, guys, and we don't want you to. Again, you can do all these things on your own, but do you really want to? Is it really necessary? Is it worth saving a couple of bucks? You have a choice. It's simple. Which direction are you going to go? Will you continue on the path that you're on before today and get the same results you've been getting? Or will you take action and implement this easy-to-use system to change your future? So if you decide you want to work with us at all, or you're curious, what do you really get if you work with us? Here it is, okay? We're going to help put your ATM system on autopilot. Your ATM stands for your automatic transaction machine. So every single month, you're going to get a 4-page, professionally written print newsletter every single month. Okay, we've got amazing copywriters. You're going to get 2 professionally written e-newsletters every month that we'll send out that will maximize brand awareness for you amongst everybody, not just your top tier. You're going to get that free call to action report I mentioned with the 1 click to social media that you'll send both to your sphere of influence and also for all of your social media followers. You're going to get, this is really cool, you're going to get this private members only Facebook group where there's some interaction going on there. You guys can learn from one another. And also Matt and I moderate that and chime in frequently about what's going on and share things that not only are coming from our newsletter group, but also from our one-on-one coaching clients and other just top producers that we hang out with, right? And you get 2 live coaching calls every single month with Matt and I. Right, we go on Facebook Live every single month, twice a month, and we do these calls. Sometimes it's specifically about how to use this tool. Sometimes it's about how to get, your ancillary vendors to pay for everything. Sometimes it's about business planning clinics. Sometimes it's about just the market of the moment. It can be anything, but we are pouring into you with what we are learning on the streets from our people that we teach, from our own businesses, from our own path, to help you, again, reduce the learning curve, to speed up your trajectory so you can start getting the results and living the lifestyle that you desire. And here's the amazing thing, it's only $79 a month. SixFigureNewsletters.com, all of this is only $79 a month. I mean, I don't know where else you're going to get value like that. We are not doing this to get rich. We are doing this because we both have been in the business for a long, long time, and we want to get rid of that statistic of 85% of agents failing in their first 3 to 5 years and getting out of the business when it is an amazing business, and it can be fun, and it can be rewarding, and it can be profitable, and you can make an impact on the lives of others and on the lives of your family. Guys, you can do it, and we want to help you at SixFigureNewsletters.com. So the big question is where will you be 12 months from now if you keep going the way you're currently going? Where are you going to be? What's going to be different next year? The average lifespan in the U.S. is 78 years old. Where are you at in relationship to that? Guys, you only get one chance here on earth to live an amazing life, one that's full of abundance, joy, passion, and purpose. Right? Do-overs, right? No do-overs. So we want to help you live that life. So here's what you've got to do. Again, the 5 steps to master to earn $10K a month or more every month, working less than 20 hours a week. Install your ATM, your automatic transaction machine. Nurture it, pour into it, right? The only way you can pull money out of an ATM is if you deposit it into it. Does that make sense, right? So you've got to make deposits into your relationship bank if you want to pull the money back out. And then you've got to service it with world-class systems. We do a lot of training on that. Right? Obviously on our lead generation system, but what about servicing the client? How do you create a duplicatable, repeatable experience for them to where they know if they refer somebody to you that they are going to get treated the exact same way and have the same experience that you gave them? And then we're going to talk about how to leverage it and how to automate those relationships as much as you can using SixFigureNewsletters.com or you building the system yourself. And then you just simply scale it. That's it. SixFigureNewsletters.com, guys, is we will help you do all this. You can do it on your own. But for $79 a month, We can do it right there side by side with you and coach you how to do it. So, hey, as I promised earlier on, I hope you guys have seen this. You've got some value out of it. In a couple more minutes, we're going to get you this. Thanks for sticking around. The link to grab your $50,000 plan. It's called the Referral Resuscitation Plan. Okay, so you're going to get the link to go do that. And I want you to look at Jim Rohn, one of my all-time favorite mentors. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So what I want you to feel right now, and I hope you got out of this, is that if you will bring the desire and discipline, we're going to bring the tools, we're going to bring the knowledge, because we do want to change your life, guys. SixFigureNewsletters.com. That's it. Go there, sign up, okay? To get your free download of the gift, all you got to do is go to 50k.sixfigurenewsletters.com. 50k. 50k.sixfigurenewsletters.com. That's where you're going to grab that free tool that will help you generate an extra $50,000 this year. And really, if you do it and you implement it now and you implement it fast, I've seen people do that 50k in 90 days. Okay? We are serious about helping you. We are serious about building your business. We are serious about helping you build the lifestyle that you're desiring and to give you one that you love waking up to, guys. Reach out to us, sixfigurenewsletters.com. Let's get you on the books, all right? And let's move this thing forward.